Well, my new name should be Kurt Angle. Problems, you don't want them. Trust me, I'll burn him. My dog pop out the cut and he a stone cold stunner. Steady chillin' with Crow. He a cold motherfucker. Got it, he been a problem. Thought I told motherfuckers, let's go. I pop a top that might pop on your chick. You say my name like Candyman and I pop on your strip. You know my dogs be the illest. They not even sick. Catch you why you think it's sweet while I'm taking the trip. It's cold murder. And any nigga back to differ, we for sure learn him. Hollow tips and them extensions, he for sure earnest. Well, got to hell while you are bound to freeze. I've been living in hell, boy, nothing is new to me. Fat boy ready to feast. Set the table, grab my plate. And you cook up these beats. I'm ready to flood these streets. I ain't make it to heaven. Couldn't learn my lesson, now I'm
Dr. James Smalls, mixed with Biggie Smalls. Throw up an X for DMX, long live the dog. My mind's eye still cry, sight I never lost. Gold throne, gold crown, feeling like a boss. He's arisen, see my vision, marble floors in kitchen. Derek Grace, bare arms, long as Scottie Pippen. Welcome to heaven, been through hell and back, I'm still kicking. Laws of attraction, manifesting everything I'm thinking. I'm getting money, Biggie, fuck, waiting on a stimmy. Try kill us with the pandemic, but we build different. Bags off of my apparel, this the pandemic. Winning like the old Cowboys when they had Emmett. Entrepreneur, I'm running plays, Julian Edelman. Them cats is cap, I earn my stripes just like a peppermint. I really rap, I'm one-on-one just like some fingerprints. The underdog, I'm undefeated, I just rack up wins. Nigga with an attitude, I feel like Dre and Rent. Always show some gratitude, cause boy, I play to win. Capital Builder, Antigua, bitch, we going in.
Welcome to hell while you are bound to freeze. I've been living in hell, boy, nothing is new to me. Fat boy ready to feast. Set the table, grab my plate. And you cook up these beats. I'm ready to flood these streets. I ain't make it to heaven. Couldn't learn my lesson, now I'm
chance, get out of this live. Every nigga come out right now with your hands over your head, and I mean right now.
All right, folks, calm down. Go about your business. Jokers will be gone soon. Now, why y'all want to come into my town and start trouble? Come into Bill Sharp's town and show your ass.
Scotty. Trust me, it get cold in hell, nigga. It's on my soul. Fuck niggas talking about, man. It said I stood the test of times with this rap shit. Straight facts and on my bars, none of that cap shit. Hey, disrespect the mob and get your cap hit. I stood on all 10 down for the cause like I'm capping it. And shit to clarify further. Me and the homies never shot a murder. This life shit a game. Let's see who finna slide the furthest. I bet you don't. And in the moment that you will, you better hope you won't. I had your mama up in 10 screaming the baby gone. Just leave it alone, cause every day I slide with the chrome. Break the pound and on God shit'll shatter your bones. Let's set the tone for niggas they think they sleeping on. Got it, but fuck them though. You water seeds, the flowers will grow. You fuck with Gotti tag on your toe. I thought I told niggas next time that I'm in the booth I'm firing on hoes. Like Shaq when he was shattering balls. I came to bring the pain. And all the shit that I done been through, you will feel the same. Like, can you stand the rain? Cause when I'm gone, you probably miss me. In the body bag, but no missy, no bad bitches to kiss me. Look, I'm finna take the throne. Making sure I'm ass up when I take you home. Making sure you grab them shells when you blast your chrome. And make sure them niggas dead before you heading home. Hate always in gunplay. Yeah. Bitch. Yeah. Hate always in gunplay. Yeah.
Back your bitch ass up before I swear this whole shit up, nigga.
Yeah. Hate always in gunplay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we move. No food.
Hate always in gunplay, nigga.
Yeah, get cool down, nigga.
Just hate always in gunplay.
Can't even tell all this shit up now. They're just finding out my government. Ballin' at the church, our last pick, but we ballin' real life and got them niggas mad sick in them. I know they hate that it's me. For real. Black snotty nose, I know it's hard to believe. I got some tricks up my sleeve. It's 90 outside, my neck 0 degrees. And still don't know why they hate me. But thank God, I appreciate it greatly. And all them chicks that done diss me.
You never seen
Yeah. We in the building. We live. Let me get up off of here, man. They don't even see you yet, Virg. They don't see you yet. They about to see you in a second. Yeah, we in here. Hold up now. While I'm in here, I'm gonna go ahead and get this introduction real quick.
Shot glasses, man.
Let me see. Get this all together. Yeah, that music was by OG Gotti at OG Gotti 3782. Gotta be dropping shit. Let me see. Yeah, man, there we at. So today we having the it's the round table discussion amongst men, you know. Men sharpen men like steel sharpen knives. So this is what we got, man. You know, I got Virgil Berry in the building.
Yeah.
You know, Virgil Berry. I'm gonna give y'all. This is my introduction for Virgil.
Hold on,
this dude got a
whole demo.
This for real. This ain't. Yeah. You know.
I feel honored, man. I feel honored.
As you should. Yeah, you know. You got to make sure you fully prepared, man. You make sure you fully prepared, man. Let me go ahead. So this is what it is, man. Virgil Berry does exceptional work when it comes to doing his due diligence by finding facts to support his theories on what to be man-made truths. Yeah, right. His ability to retain information is phenomenal. Crazy. It's crazy. Like, so besides that, you know, his being able to retain the information is almost like he unhuman. I'm dead serious, man. I'm dead serious. Like, compared to his brain, some people's brains are like IBM, man. But overall, man, he's a good brother of mine.
That's an insult. That's a compliment.
Nah, man. IBM ain't doing that right now. Yeah, I mean, when the last time you seen an IBM? Other than that, man, you know, he is one of my good brothers, man. He's definitely heaven sent. So,
blessings.
I'm gonna give a round of applause for Virgil Berry. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give it up.
That's it.
I'm gonna do it like that.
I'm about to say that's all I get.
That ain't gonna do you like that.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and now, and on the other end, we got my featuring co-host.
Okay.
Another brother of mine that's heaven sent. You know, Derek Deavault.
Yes.
You know, Derek Deavault. See, Derek is gifted. Derek gifted too now. Hey, Derek don't got no podcast.
Right.
However, this definitely can wing Derek into doing podcasts.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this about Derek though. Derek is gifted in the discernment to recognize what we call nonsense, rubbish, and better known to us all as bullshit. He can identify that very well. Overall, Derek is a great thinker. which cater to his ability to rationalize and provide a credible opinion on any topic presented.
Right.
So we're gonna give Derek a round of applause too, man.
Thank you. And I'd like to add, when I make it to heaven, I'm gonna have you write my acceptance speech.
Hey, let's get another round of applause.
This guy's crazy. I've never seen that side of it, man.
It's always multiple sides to a person.
Yeah, it is. I see.
And I'm gonna introduce myself.
Right.
You know, it's Mr. Pringles the Barber, aka Always Cutting's Head Honcho. Yeah. I am him, not them. I am him, not them. And you know, my gift is to be able to look at things and rationalize them and understand whether it's right or wrong. It's all about whether it makes sense.
Right.
Right.
That's
Make
it.
it make sense.
Make it make sense. Everybody has their own perspective and opinions, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go ahead, go in. We're gonna go in. The first thing we want to talk about, we're gonna go straight.
Shot glass. Where's my glass at?
See, I didn't have no shot glasses because you know I'm doing Ramadan right now. I can't drink no fasting right now.
Okay,
but however, actually I'm gonna go in the
kitchen. No more drink.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen in the top cabinet. There's some champagne glasses.
I'm feeling fancy now, man.
Yeah. This is different, man. This is different.
It is, man. Every time I come in here, it upgrades, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. The energy just keep, you know what I'm saying, rising and getting better, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's motivation, man. I love it, man.
It's always got to do that, man. So this is what I want to say, though, man. The first thing I want to start out with is the first thing I want to ask you, man. You know what I mean? What's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6?
Like 30 to 40 grand, cocksucker, beat it. You hear me? Yeah, you better get your M's up, get your ones up, man.
Exactly. I felt like, you know, for the music on the as far as when I was promoting the.
Hey, good looking out, young brother. I appreciate that.
As far as promoting the
I got you.
The show.
Bourbon out of champagne. You different.
That's what I'm saying, man. He got me on this.
Now
man.
you just started something.
You feel me? Now I'm feeling
other people doing it.
You feel me? Cheers.
See, they drinking good too. This about to be.
This ain't no.
This
stuff is good, man.
This is gonna be real. And I'm sitting over here gonna be thirsty, hungry, and all that.
He can't even drink no water to the sun. That's crazy.
And see, that's knowledgeable right there. That's good knowledge right there.
Yeah, and
because he ain't no Muslim. He just hit all angles.
Well, you know, he know.
Right.
So I want to know, like, for both of y'all, like, growing up, what picture was painted to you of what the ideal man is?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
What's deemed to be the ideal man as far as a father, significant other,
right,
and just an overall man?
So that's a different question because you originally asked me what was my depiction based off of what I experienced, and you know, so that would have kind of convoluted and kind of because you know, so for a minute my dad wasn't around when he got on drugs and stuff, so I really didn't have that. But I could have said my brother, rest in essence to my brother and everybody else. But outside of that. Well, my depiction of what a man is and what it is to be a man is the truth. You hear me? And when I say the truth, I mean the truth in all ways possible that the truth is. You hear me? Not lying, accountable for actions, doing what's right. You know what I'm talking about? Providing whatever it is we do as men, you know what I'm saying, and living in our purpose. You know what I'm talking about? That's a major part of being
living in your purpose.
Right.
So I want to say this as far as because you said something, and as far as lying,
right?
Is there a situation where a man may lie and it's valid?
Well,
because you said that because I'm on
and here it is right here, and I know they're gonna rule me this when I say this. You is too.
Hold up, time out. Hold up. Just pause for a second. His shirt says everybody lies. I didn't. And
everybody lies.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that what made you? Is that what made?
No, I didn't even see it. I didn't even
see how it go, man.
Yeah.
That's dope though. I just noticed that. Yeah, but as far as the truth, man, it's not so much as men lie, man. It's the truth, and you know what I mean. You got to know how to, not so much as tell a lie, but you know what I mean. So you know how to ration the truth. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't handle the full brunt or the full truth. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever that truth may be. but you not necessarily got to lie. You know what I'm saying, to somebody. It's just that you got to be able to have the discernment, and this is part of becoming a man too. You got to have the discernment as a man to be able to tell when certain people is ready for certain truths. And when you rationalize and you figure out how to do that, then you will be able to interact with people, not necessarily lie to them, but their brain, they, you know what I'm saying, their mind just might not be ready for that truth yet.
So you feel like it's a way to move around without lying, like just don't offer the information.
Right.
For instance, like you dabbled in the streets.
Right.
You get caught up. You're not about to tell the police that you did what you did.
Exactly.
You lied one time.
Yeah.
That's to the prosecutor.
Right.
Yeah. We know that. That's just the truth.
Okay.
But I will say, if we had this conversation 10 years ago, it would be a total different outlook for all three of us.
Right.
So along with that comes growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
For you not to lie to other people, you have to be honest with yourself first. Because if you're not honest with yourself first, you're going to always lie.
Facts.
And that's just how things work.
Right.
So, but back to your original question, if mine was kind of similar to Verge. Like my older brother was the example of a man, right? I thought a man had to be tough. I thought you had to be rough. And then my father wasn't around, but when he did come around, from him, I didn't learn any better than what I already had seen, right?
Right.
For him, he was running women. He wasn't, that's what he did. He was pimping. But I never, for some reason, I never actually fell into that.
Gravitated towards it.
Right. It was just, I always wanted to have things that was, beyond my reach because of what he had. But I never fell into that. But as I got older, and then once you start to have children, then that changes.
Right.
It's like whatever happened when you was a child, it erases all that to the point to where you are now, because I would have never thought that I would be the person I am today from where I was at maybe 5 years ago, right, or even 10 years ago. But as you be honest with yourself, you become honest with the world.
Right.
So I guess that's the best way to put it.
That's a fact.
And as far as becoming honest with yourself, I feel like that's an experience thing and growth thing. Like,
right.
You're going to go through life and things are going to happen and it's going to help you identify who you are.
Right.
Yes.
So,
right,
like, for instance, we'll throw out relationships. Most men have a situation where they deal with cheating.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So now my thing about cheating is more, the word cheating shouldn't even be utilized when it comes to a relationship, because I feel like that's be used for, that's a game that comes with dealing with a game.
Right.
Now, Virg, I want your intake on, yeah. So like we was talking about lying.
Right.
In a sense of you cheating and you are in a relationship with somebody, is it possible for you to do that and still be in love or love the person that you with as a man?
Yes.
Okay, now, do you feel like in that situation, you lying would be more of not trying to hurt them?
No. Because now, and I say this from the perspective of of being in relationship with chicks and lying before versus now, when I don't lie to no bro.
Period. Yeah, that's
so.
Growth.
You know
that's
what I'm saying? What I found is when you be honest with chicks, they tend to like. For one, this is the number one reason why I say part of being a man is the truth and being honest with these, especially when it comes to these chicks. Because when you don't lie and you be honest to them about who you are, you give them the option of how they want to interact with you. One, and then two,
I agree.
Two,
exactly.
you forever close that door to disrespect.
Right.
Because as soon as you lie to him, now she got a reason to disrespect. You see, when you be honest off top, she's never going to have a reason to disrespect.
And that trust is established.
Right. And then so you can set the parameters of a relationship where it's going to be right there. Not necessarily saying like, look, bitch, I'm about to go be fucking hella bitches and you got to deal with it. But understand that, look, I'm not about to settle down. We can interact however we want to interact. If you cool with that, you not. I want to be doing this. And as long as that understanding is there. So it's not like you just, and this, and that, because I don't want to just shoot out the Kevin Sam. He used to say, it's not about me going to smash other chicks. It's about, if I'm a certain caliber of man, I have options. I may decide to exercise my options. And if you rocking with me on any type of level, you have to understand that.
Right.
Okay.
And if you don't listen, and if you don't, then we probably gonna rock. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna just have it all up in your face.
You're looking at yourself.
Yeah,
but check this out.
Yeah.
But this is the thing about that. You speaking from the man you are today.
Right.
I'm speaking on the man you once was.
So
the man you once was.
Right.
And you was in that situation where you actually cheated. All of us know as men now, all of us are like 40. We understand life differently in a different view than we viewed it before. So now if you single, right?
Yes.
Okay, due to the fact that you single, due to the fact that you single, you understand that the best way is to come across and just walk in your truth.
Right.
However, when you first
was a young boy,
you was getting into it, or you met whoever you was met,
right.
in any of your relationships, you didn't disclose.
Not at all.
But so here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
The whole caveat to this is that of his upbringing. So there was no father there to establish and say this is what a man does.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just going off environment.
He was going off nature.
Nature, right.
That too.
So now that he's become his own self, because then he wasn't a man yet, right?
Right.
So once he became his own self, then he understood like there's no reason for me to lie. Right? Because he didn't have that example.
Right.
And I see it with them, like him and his older brother, they're not going to cheat on their girlfriend. Now, he's different than his brother. He's going to, maybe talk to more girls. But his brother is like, no, but it's what he saw, right? 2-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his environment. Now, can it shift? Of course.
Right.
Like, because it shifted for us at one point, right?
Definitely.
And somewhere along the line, we were like, this isn't for us. We've matured. We've grown as men. We know better. But having that foundation.
So it's about basically is about, like you're saying, is about the foundation of what they're seeing.
Oh, yeah.
So what about the men that, like I got a friend, for instance,
mm-hmm.
he actually shows his daughters the correct way and his sons the correct way.
Mm-hmm.
However, I cut hair, I deal with men all day. So the conversations that we discuss and the things that I hear, he does the right things and set the right foundation. However, he still does things on the side.
Okay.
So is it more of just making sure the kids see the proper way? But then they run into who they actually are.
Okay. So I can be honest with this. Like for them, one of the things I did, they may not have seen directly, but now they know as the house has divided, right? But with the girls, my oldest daughter, she sort of saw it, but that was sort of still like, this is what you don't want.
Exactly.
Right. This, you want the father of that I am, not the man that I'm being in the street, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's going to be a point where they have to make that decision.
Right.
Even though they come from a 2-parent household, they're, ideally they're going to look for a girl that's like their mother, right? That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean they're going to stay with that. It depends on how things evolve, what they go through in life. But we will hope that it stay that way. But
9 times out of 10 they will, because it depends on how the mother nurtures them. If the mother, if you got a mother that ain't a good mother, you probably would go to the total opposite. But if you got a good mother, you're gonna go towards.
Especially if your mom, this is also your mom she has to respect men too. If your mom don't respect men,
right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yes.
If so, you saying for a woman, if the mom doesn't respect men, that could basically tarnish the mind.
Oh no, that is going to tarnish.
Oh, it is. You're right.
Of your sons, especially. It's going to tarnish the mind of the daughters. It's definitely going to tarnish the mind of your sons, for sure.
Because that's going to be their example of a woman.
And she's going to be holding your sons up to standards of men that she don't even never even experienced.
Right. And I guarantee,
like she ain't never even have a damn dad.
And I guarantee with them, they're going to be. They're going to look for a woman that can cook.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to keep a home.
As they supposed
that's going to treat them like their mom. Right. There's going to be situations like they're going to probably call their mom like, "Mom, she doesn't know how to make this. Tell her." Like, so they're going to have expectations going into it.
Right.
We didn't have expectations because we didn't see that.
Right.
Exactly.
So we just went with what was ever around us. We didn't have the example. We didn't have expectations. So it was like,
I just want to say for my brother Derek, man, congratulations, man, for creating that dynamic for your kids, man, because that's a beautiful thing, though. You know what I'm talking about?
But I didn't do it completely right the whole time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
As a man, you're definitely gonna come across that hiccup.
Right.
Yes.
A few times.
A few times.
Right.
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah, what do you mean by naturally?
When I say natural, I mean as far as being a man, like it's just it's things that's naturally going to occur. Like for one, I'm a man, you're a woman, so that right there, we're not going to agree on everything just based off of that dynamic right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in couple with whatever trauma, whatever situations from my family, whatever I'm dealing with, and I'm bringing up y'all, we still handling this all together, whatever. There's going to be situations, there's going to be disagreements. You was raised a certain way, I was raised a certain way.
Right.
You know, clean up a certain way, I clean up a certain way and stuff. And this, you know, it's all about figuring it out together and working towards, you know what I'm saying, figure out how we going to bring these two things together and make it work for what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? That's work. That's something I figure out. That's work right there, man. And you know what I mean?
So that's natural.
Yeah.
I'm just touching on the natural.
Yeah, that's natural interaction between humans, specifically men and women.
Okay.
You hear me?
Okay. So what do you feel like the ideal man that society sees today? What is the ideal man today versus when we was growing up? Because it's totally different.
Oh yeah, it's totally different. I think now men are looked at in a better light. I think we have better examples of real men. I feel.
You think that?
Yeah, I think so.
I beg to differ.
I differ.
I beg to differ.
You think so?
I think we have better examples of men and masculinity back in the day.
Now, because look at the world today.
Now you're splitting hairs, though. You said masculinity. I'm saying overall. I'm saying like.
No, I said ideal man.
Right, ideal man. So look at the men now that we have. Who besides our family? What other men was there to look up to? That now you're going to set the example from entertainment, maybe, right?
Right.
But there's a lot of good examples of good men that's broadcast in the world. I think maybe because we have social media that you can see that example more. Because before it was only what was in front of you. You couldn't reach out and see everything. You can only see what was right there. So what was in front of you. So now I think you have the opportunity to see that more. You would have never seen the positive relationships because how? All you saw what was in your neighborhood, what was in your household, what was in your family. So now you have the opportunity to see further. I think now you have more of opportunity to see.
I see where you're coming from.
I mean, you have more of an opportunity to see more, but however, less is always best in a sense, because the fact that we got the opportunity to see more, you got the opportunity to see
more, a lot more bullshit.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, man, the brothers was real men. They had businesses. Black-owned businesses, you know what I'm saying? Men was upstanding. We didn't dress like this. We suited and booted. People was professional. They had pride in what they did. They took care of their neighborhood.
It was different. Just the whole dynamic.
With their pants sagging down. Wasn't none of this feminist homo stuff going on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
You can have a dad now.
Back in the day,
a dad now could be homosexual. It's fine. That's not a problem nowadays. You know what I mean? But it's not a problem too for your choice of what you do.
Right.
It's just the fact that now it's so much to see.
Right, but
what is the ideal man?
But did you, growing up in our time, we didn't have a Nipsey. We didn't have a Russell Wilson. We didn't have the positive reinforcement of a two-parent household or a father who's going to be there regardless, right? We didn't have that. You didn't see that image. Where, besides the Cosby Show, where did you see that at?
The Cosby Show, but then you got to think, you said Nipsey. How many people actually seen Nipsey until he died, and then people start following?
Well, you still saw you
didn't. Nipsey only had a short percentage of period. Yeah, he didn't.
That's true. You still, but besides from that, who can you name that you can remember that had a positive impact on your life as a father? Like
Tupac.
You talking about people that wasn't famous, like from your neighborhood?
No, or even people that was famous.
Right.
Like the saddest part to me is I got two homeboys, and when my father passed, he was like, "Man, that's the only father I knew." But now you have more examples than that besides the neighborhood but as far as entertainment, what we looked up to, what did we look up to far as a positive influence besides, like you said, your brother, my brother? You was the oldest, so maybe you had older cousins. I don't know, but you didn't have
an older cousin,
right? But you didn't have that image that we idolize. We always idolize
that.
Right, something that you can obtain, which is somebody famous. So I don't remember nobody like that. Besides, like I said, maybe the Cosby Show. But
I don't even remember nobody. You're right. Just thinking about it,
right?
Like, who did you have that's like? right there immediate.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people though, honestly, to be honest with you, man, because my mom, like I said, when my dad wasn't around, when he got on drugs and stuff, my mom made sure she put me in like after school programs and stuff like that. So I got a lot of, matter of fact, one of my big homies right now, he just beat cancer, man. My brother Byron, man, he was a big mentor, big influence on me, man. He told me how to tie ties, told me I got my first job with him. He told me the importance of being on time and taking care of responsibilities. I learned how to do, he taught me how to do my taxes and stuff like that. So, so I had a lot of positive male influence.
But you're the exception to the rule, though. Everybody.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. So, I'm definitely exception to, for the most part, there's not. You know what I mean? Like, definitely exceptions to the rule, for real.
Okay. So with that being said, since we done tapped into so do we all agree? Where do we agree to disagree right now? Is the ideal man then or now? Like,
I say both.
I'm just about to say that. I say
50-50. So we agree. Yeah, I agree.
I sort of agree with him. Like, my father showed me how to wear a tie. Like, the one thing I get from my father is being a gentleman. I think that's the era. Right. I was just talking to his mom the other day, and I said it's interesting. Like, our fathers, men who are their age, like they do stupid shit. Like, they'll have a tool that you need that they fucking never use. Right. But it's just they're a real man. Right. So they have tools. It's like every man is the same. They have a garage, they have tools. You don't see that now. You don't see the gentleman, the hard worker, I guess.
Right.
I mean, but you got to see as one thing too. So I'm gonna say this. My dad was around, but it was a big gap in between.
Okay.
So out of me and my brothers, I'm the one that got to witness my dad the most.
Okay.
So I was taught certain things. However, my dad was in the street too. So it was things that I seen.
Right.
What's up with Pops, man?
Pops. Pops is Pops. Pops also.
I could have swore I just seen him when I was over. He still stay around the way over there.
Yeah.
I just saw that was him. I saw.
Yeah.
That was him.
Pops still Pops. So we do agree as far as
Yeah, for sure.
It's 50-50.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
It's 50-50. So what do you see as growing up?
Maybe 70. Maybe 60-40.
He's more back in the day.
He's
more than 60-40.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
The reason why I agree somewhat with back in the day, I ain't gonna sit too long on it, but however, there's a lot of things that go with that, a lot of different ways you can look at it. Because back then our fathers could listen to R&B and things like that, and it wasn't looked at in a different light. So you got different. Everything is just the evolution of things.
It's less masculine. Obviously, we know that.
Yeah.
It's less masculine, but at the same time, I think that was sort of incorrect.
Yeah,
because like I said, growing up, I thought a man had to be tough, but now I realize a man has to learn how to love too. You didn't get that growing up.
He has to have a form of duality. He has to have both sides.
Exactly. Right. So you didn't get that growing up. It was always, you got to be tough. Don't cry, But as I got older, I realized that's not the way. Our kids are going to have emotions too. We can't just say, oh, you can't have emotions because you're a boy. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
So back when we were growing up, it was no sensitivity.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you failed, you got hurt, you better get up and dust it off. Right? You just keep pushing. You didn't talk about your emotions. Point, man, and that could be a different topic.
And that's how it was. That was the ideal man.
Right. Yeah. Then that's now probably why we have been the men that we were in relationships, because we didn't understand that you discuss your feelings. You have to understand your feelings. You didn't realize that till you got maybe 30, 35, because that wasn't shown to you. Right.
Okay.
That's a fact.
So growing up, I don't know what they just did, but growing up,
you just took it from off of the other comments and put it on the.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It happened on the banners.
So he. Okay, I had it on the banners. Okay. All right. So what would
go up the comments?
Go to the comments.
Yeah,
I knew that was gonna go out.
What happened?
It's cool. There it goes.
Okay.
What was growing up? What was deemed to be the ideal woman?
Claire Huxtable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Claire Huxtable or Aunt Viv.
those characteristics.
Yeah.
They garnered those exact characteristics.
Yeah.
So
right.
What did you see? What do you see out of that, Claire Huxtable and Aunt Viv?
What you mean when I say
like in comparison into what the ideal woman is today?
Big difference. And even Claire was even on some lightweight feminist stuff back then though. But as far as I'm talking about as far as her, she was able to have that perfect blend of being professional and also being a feminine woman too, because she definitely catered to her husband, but she also kind of had a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? Right. She was a lawyer and she went to school, so she kind of had that feminist mindset in there too. But and it was weird. It was good to see for me because I know now, especially that I'm performing certain things, I'm like, you know, Claire Huxtable, and I can see where, you know what I'm saying, where she still was feminine, but I could also see she was a somewhat, what they say, modern woman too, though. You know what I'm saying? But somehow,
she led with one though.
Right. She led with being a wife and mother first, but you know what I'm saying? And that's when I think she was like the perfect character of a Black woman who was able to, you know what I'm saying, do both. And
exactly.
But see, because now if you look at it, most Black women, I don't understand what it is. I mean, I do, and that's another topic of the day, but out of other groups of women, Black women tend to not be able to make that balance of, you know what I'm saying, that masculine and that feminine, because, you know, most time when Black chicks, they get in that, you know, boss, whatever, they get real masculine.
What did you say?
They don't know how to balance the two.
Boss what though? What was you about to say?
What, a boss bitch?
Yeah,
a boss batch?
What is that?
What is a boss batch?
Yeah.
A masculine ass broad. When I hear a chick say she a boss bitch or I want to be a boss, I'm thinking, oh, this is a manly ass broad. I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care how bad her body is, any of that. So she's a manly ass broad. She thinks she want to be a dude.
So what would you replace that title with though? Because it's still a boss
bitch.
Yeah,
I'm a masculine woman.
What the fuck, man? Oh, this is what
masculine woman. If any chick that says she's a boss bitch, she's masculine as hell, guaranteed.
So, what is a woman that is a boss?
A woman that is a boss.
Yeah, because if you take the bitch part out and you just place the woman in there, is there a boss woman? Or when you see boss, or is boss something that you see as just a masculine?
That's a masculine trait because women ain't designed to be the boss of nothing but kids and stuff like that. They ain't designed to be no boss over no man.
Now I'm all about making. I'm
completely out of proper structure and order.
I'm all about making it make sense, right? So this is why this is your position right now.
Right? Yeah,
because
I'm taking in what he's saying.
Okay, yeah, you're processing.
No, I disagree with that. Here's why. I'm all for women leading. That's just me. Like
leading what though?
Leading whatever it is that they choose to lead. That I don't think there are gender roles, right? We can agree on that. Right? There are gender roles, but there's nothing with the woman leading. Now for me personally, I can't handle that. But there are men out there who
no the fuck up, Derek. Hold on.
What's wrong with this dude, right?
Hold on. No, I agree. Listen.
Hold up. We're gonna go to a quick break real quick because they're gonna want to hear this real quick. Hold up. I'm about to mute y'all for a second because we gotta go to a quick break. We back in. So we don't want to talk too much about it outside of it. We want to go right back in.
So you
saying you are for Whoa there. Hold on. We gotta go to another break. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead. Y'all still live. I'm gonna go ahead and see what. Matter of fact, I don't know why I'm even doing all that. I got the cameras up. But yeah, Derek, go ahead and explain.
As we was talking a little bit, like personally for me, as we stated, I'm not with a woman. If I'm in a relationship, I'm not with the woman making more money than me. Now, there are points and times where you may get down, but for me as a man, as a pride thing, I need to lead the household. But I'm not against a woman leading if she chooses to, but just not in my relationship. But I can support that and I respect it. I don't think it's a problem if a woman leads, but I'm not the man that you're going to sit there and
you're not the man to be led.
Like, hey, can I spend this money? Or, you know what I mean? Or I'm in a position to where you feel as if that you make more money than me, that you can tell me what to do.
Right.
No, that's just not me. I wasn't built that way.
Right.
So for me, is the man should be the one who leads the household. He sets the foundation. But in some cases, there are men who accept that. Right. I'm just not that guy. But I'm not against, if you choose to do that with you and your woman, that's good.
You're just showing some form of open-mindedness.
Yeah, I will support a woman in that aspect if that's what she wants. But in my household, I'm not rocking with that. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get out there, and I'm going to be the breadwinner in the situation. Right. And there's nothing against her. Right. It's just a pride thing for me. Like, that's what I saw growing up. Like, the man leads the house. Right. Now, today, on the flip side, it's a little different, right? We touched on that a few weeks ago with the whole ASAP and
Rihanna situation,
right?
So let's tap that real quick. Let's tap that real quick. The ASAP and Rihanna post.
This guy.
I'm gonna let you go ahead in that part because I don't fucking say
ASAP. What's that nigga's real name, man?
I don't know.
I don't like even calling these dudes by their rap names no more. They don't live up to them. They call these dudes by their real names.
They don't live up to them. It ain't ASAP, is it?
Nah, it's definitely not ASAP.
It's more like Left Behind.
Left Behind in the dust. This dude. Now, if y'all think about the image that they put, was that Cosmopolitan magazine, right?
That was
Vogue
magazine, right? Vogue magazine. Now, see. Now, BJ, you might know something about this because, you know, we went to media school and I can tell that is a very Photoshop image.
Right.
It's very, very
I said tailored. That. Yeah, it was definitely Photoshop. Yeah.
It was, for one, Rihanna's enlarged.
Yes.
He's smalling and put in the back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He got the baby. She's pulling his hand as if she's leading and guiding him, right? And it's just the image just automatically hit the psyche and lets you know that this nigga's he's the broad. He got the baby on his hip. He got braids in his hair, smooth face. He wearing skirts and all that crazy stuff. And here she is leading in the front with a damn pantsuit on, man.
So this is all propaganda?
Oh, for sure it's propaganda. It's big time mind fuckery with the imagery. You know what I'm saying? Putting in your psyche and your perception, you know what I'm saying, that men are being led and guided by women, and, you know, men are taking more docile roles and, you know, more feminine roles, and women, like a woman like Rihanna, who's a billionaire, you know, she's making the money. So, you know, that means she's leading and guiding the relationship. That's absolutely false, because if y'all look at the ism, them hoes out there beating feet on concrete. You hear me? But who they bringing all that money to? It don't mean he don't. So what I'm saying is, like, you can be a breadwinner chick though, but when it comes to being a boss and all that stuff, everything that you going to lose, you're going to lose everything that makes you a woman in the process of becoming a boss bitch. You're going to lose your femininity, which is the major thing that's going to go. Because listen here, being a CEO, being a CEO and a boss, that's man shit, man. That's man shit. That's masculine shit. That y'all's body, y'all physical body are not designed to be leading or in authority, especially over men. It's just, y'all not designed for it. I'm not saying that some women can't do the job. Just because you can do the job doesn't mean that you should do the job or that you are designed to do the job.
So do you basically, so you feel like in order for a woman to be in that position, she loses the qualities of her being feminine.
Yes.
Because I kind of understand what you're saying. You're like, so if you take a woman and you make her president, in order for her to deal with all the pressures of the world will come with being president, she would have to do away with her being her emotions.
No kids. That's what. See, you got to be talking about females
I
here,
totally
man.
disagree.
Okay.
Now let's break down Rihanna real quick. And you and I slightly talked about this. It's a Vogue magazine, right? That magazine is for who? Women.
For women.
Right. So that image is going to be that way because, excuse me, it's a magazine for women. But I sort of saw it different, right? I told you this. I understand what you saw in the image you're trying to push, but how I looked at it is, to me, that's a beautiful image for ASAP. You don't see a black man with his child like that, and that baby was happy.
That's not true. I beg to differ. We the most involved fathers. We're the most involved fathers and always the fathers. Yes. I mean, that's just.
But you don't see that narrative push. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of do though.
Where?
You kind of do. You don't see it on the mainstream, but you do.
That's my point.
Do see it.
Yeah. You see it, but on the mainstream, you don't see it. Right. So that's how I looked at that image. Was this is what we need to push more and show this image of him and him being a father. And she can be in the front if that's their relationship.
But it wasn't even like it was like he was a mother. He wasn't a father. I didn't get the image of a father. I think he was gonna be a mother.
I think maybe
he wasn't even looking like a man. Man, he got braids in his hair. He got skin, bare chest. He all smooth face. He looking like a bra, man.
But that's because that's him. What did I say he was?
Men don't normally rear children. That's not what we do.
He was spicy.
He was spicy.
But that's
he was sassy. That's what it was.
Sassy. So if it was a different person besides him that was more masculine,
right?
Would you look at it differently?
Yeah, because if any other place, the whole image itself.
There was no other picture like that. Even when you looked at the Nipsey picture,
we talked about that.
And Lauren,
they were
equal.
He's in front.
She in front of the horse. She's on the horse, but he's in front of the horse.
And then Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're equal.
Yeah,
right. But at the same time, where was the shoot with those two situations?
It wasn't Vogue.
Exactly. So that's my point too.
Yeah.
Back to that.
Right.
But that's back to what I'm saying. Some men are fine with that situation of the woman being the breadwinner, and that shows you in that case. But I don't think it discredits him as a man.
Yeah.
I think it's still, it can show that he's still a man. He's still the head of the household. He's still the father. So I don't think it discredits him, taken away from him as a man. I think it's still there. But it just shows her in that image because she's the bigger name. Let's be honest about that.
Exactly.
And it's, what are they going to get more people to buy? Him being in the front or Rihanna being in the front? Who's the hottest thing right now? Her. So that makes sense.
It made perfect sense when you put it like that. As far as the you said it when we talked about it, and you spoke about how if you look at it from a different angle, when you look at him actually with his child,
right?
That's a whole nother view. You know, I don't think too many people even looked at it that way. They didn't look at it like, okay, he's with his child.
Right.
The whole thing was the first thing people seen was Rihanna the giant, and ASAP.
And that's how it was intended to be saw too.
No, and I agree with you. It was intended to be that. It was intended to be that way.
Yeah.
But I looked at it further because of the conversation.
Okay.
And maybe if I was a little bit younger, I would have just looked at it one way. But I could see, for me, what I take out of it is one thing what they're trying to push to you versus what you receive. Mm-hmm. That's just me in general. So
perception is valid.
Yeah, perception is valid. So what do you think that the overall goal is that they're trying to push though? Like right now, the overall goal. What is because you break down the world.
Break it down, man. The overall goal is to, destroy masculinity in all forms possible and to reverse the roles, which has successfully happened as that image on the cover of Vogue. You know what I'm saying? It's completely designed to put the image into the public psyche, basically, that women is in charge.
Okay, so
they run stuff.
I was listening to an episode with 19 Keys, right? We're gonna touch that. We're gonna see this. We're gonna segue into that.
You gave me the side eye, like
I fuck with 19 Keys, man. We're going
with the brother too.
Yeah, look. So he was on a podcast with some 2 women, and he basically told them that it's more support in the world right now for women than it is men. Like, there's a bunch of organizations to help the upliftment of women. It's more money given to. It's a whole bunch of things, like they have unlimited doors. So he was saying that it's a reason why they're doing that.
Oh, for sure.
He said if they were gonna, if it wasn't a hidden agenda behind it, they would be uplifting both. So he said, take it like this. He said, if you go to another country and you do the same thing and you focus solely on the woman, it would destroy the dynamics of the household. Because it's not saying that a woman shouldn't have power. It's just that women deal with power differently than men.
Right.
Because when a man comes into the world, it's like he's not working for the power. He's automatically given power because he is power. So a woman coming into the world, it's like she has to work hard to gain that power. And it's a
complete opposite.
That's how you feel.
It's complete. That's a fact. Even how I feel.
So you go ahead.
We have to work. See, we're not born with our worth and our value. We have to develop and build that. We have to develop and build our value. Women, they're born with theirs. They're born with their beauty, their youth, their chastity, and their beauty is their, and their femininity are their superpowers, right? They're born with this stuff. This is why a guy our age with our money together, whatever, we want to get us a young bad bitch. She ain't got to do nothing. As far as like,
you know what? The way that you put that, I agree with that. That makes sense.
But as far as us as men, we gotta, for one, we gotta be able to have some men around us growing up to soak up some game and lead and guide us the right way, right? And then we gotta work to develop them things that is bestowed upon. We gotta work. We gotta go to school, go to barber school. We gotta put in work to develop our value. Our value is not just given to us when we come in here. We have to earn and develop our value.
So you saying a woman is walking around with power, period?
No, it's not that they're walking around with power, because we all walk around with power. I'm saying they're born with their value and their worth. A young, pretty 21-year-old girl don't have to know nothing.
All she got to do is be beautiful.
Guy like us to come and scoop her up.
Hold up,
you hear me?
They don't even have to be beautiful.
I just was saying.
But I'm just saying, you said it from the beginning. You said they were born with their chastity.
Right.
Yeah. So that right there is enough strength in itself, because what did Chris Rock say? He said, if you see Beyonce in the drive-thru, if Jay-Z seen Beyonce in the drive-thru, they still could be married.
Yeah,
but if you switch the roles and you put Jay-Z in the drive-thru, they wouldn't be married.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. So, now see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that was a prime example
of the power.
We have to
we gotta work for it
to build our value. We're not giving our value. Women, though, right? They're born with them, especially if you beautiful, got a nice body, got some feminine qualities about you. If you was raised right by women,
you got a point. Because I'm gonna say this: if you take a man and a woman and they walk into the room and there's money to be given,
right,
and it's a man in the room, or if it's a woman in the room. If the woman walk into the room, she ain't gotta have no money. All she gotta do is have herself, what she look like, and her worth is there.
Right.
The man is gonna be questioned when he walk into that room, depending on when he opens his mouth. If he's not educated, if he doesn't sound educated, if he's not dressed right, it's gonna be too many questions. Yeah.
We gotta work for it. We have to work with our value. We gotta work for our value. We ain't born with it. Now, the only way you're gonna be born with it is if you're born into a rich family, and then it's not really your value, it's your family's value. You know what I'm saying? So you really didn't work for that either.
Right.
You know, I mean, you didn't work for that. You know, that was kind of, you know, you was born into a situation, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, us as men, we have to work to develop our value. Every man sitting at this table, you know, has to put work.
You're right.
To get where you at right now.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying, I'm not saying that women don't work hard. Women can't work hard. What I'm saying is a woman doesn't have to work hard in order to score the provision in the security protection of a man. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be, like I said, she could just be walking that. You could be the dude, you up, or you know, necessarily gonna be up. You just have your finances together, making minimum wage, whatever it is, and you see a chick, you go to McDonald's and she be a nice looking girl and you would back her, man. The other way around, no. Right.
Well,
for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. It depends on the man, because I'm not bagging a woman that works at McDonald's. That's just me.
No.
Not at this point.
Not at that point. Not this point in your life.
Right.
However, 10 years ago, bagging. It depends on what you consider bagging. Now, keeping and bagging is two different things.
Right.
That's true too.
Because you don't necessarily keep what's in the bag.
Right.
You thought about
He says
trying some shit.
That's a fact, though, because it never stays in the bag.
The bag goes in the trash.
The bag goes in the trash.
Actually, the bags go in the cabinet. You know,
Yeah.
Kroger bags.
The bag go in the cabinet.
You know, back in the day, they used to keep bags all the time, but now
in the Black House, they stay in the
They
cabinet.
stay in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Every crib got that cabinet. They got all the plastic bags.
Yeah. No, that's true. No, and I agree with you on this, Virg. I do.
I agree
feel
with
like
it too. Yeah.
to suffer for us, you got to have yourself together, or the world is going to overlook you.
Right.
But a woman
Easy.
can be seen based off her looks, off her presence, and that's true.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't think there's nothing wrong with us uplifting and celebrating women.
No.
I think it's necessary.
No.
I'm not saying y'all are. I'm not
No.
saying that y'all are. I think he was on the podcast. I think he was on was Good Moms, Bad Choices or Horrible Decisions. One of the two.
Okay. Yeah, you've seen that. Yeah.
But I think that we are at the point that, for me, I think the greatest thing that's going on is the celebration of women. It's the uplifting of women. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I don't think that, I kind of disagree with what 19 Keys was saying though. Because if you are, for a man, if you don't earn that, then it's given to you. Right? So do we need stuff to push us? I don't think so.
No, we definitely do.
You think so?
Yeah, we do. Man.
I think you should get out there and
No,
get
because
it.
for the past 20, 30 some odd years, it's all been about.
I agree with him. I'm gonna tell you why in a
It's
second.
been all about girl power, black girl power.
Oh, yeah, it's really on that.
Black girls do not listen here, y'all. And they're not gonna take this the wrong way, man. I don't really care.
Oh, he took his glasses off, just like
You know
19
what I'm saying?
Keys. 19 Keys
I'ma
be
just
doing
keep it
that.
real with y'all.
19 Keys.
Y'all
be
women,
doing-
y'all don't build nothing. Y'all haven't built anything. Men build society. It would be much better, especially in the black community, if we focus on black boy power growing into black man power, because we actually built society. We actually built the institutions and the stuff that's going to last into the future. Women absolutely do not. And for the past 50, 60 years, women have been given this opportunity to be in the roles that men's supposed to be in. And we at where we at now. And I'm not saying this all women's fault. I would never do that, man.
You saying
I want y'all to
saying the masses.
think critically. I want y'all to think critically about this, though. You know what I mean? And I'm all about bigging up women. I love women, all women, specifically, especially black women. I love y'all to death, which y'all. You hear me? Love y'all to death. But listen though, this is what we doing though. We're not promoting empowering women. These chicks ain't women. These chicks is whores, man. Educated whores, man. Look at the chicks we pushing. I'm gonna name some: Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce. Look at the chicks that these aren't.
Hold up, how did Beyonce become a whore?
And how did Meg become a whore?
How did
who?
Meg.
Meg is a whore.
I'm just asking a question. Like how? Because
she was just at the baseball game throwing balls. Pitching balls.
And I said Beyonce, not necessarily because Beyonce is a whore, although I'm pretty sure a couple of dudes, I'm pretty sure she done been blessed by some dudes in the industry. I'm pretty sure. I'm saying, but as far as her, what she puts into her imagery with her music, and that's another topic. But I'm just saying though, all these chicks that we is being presented with as examples of what femininity and womanhood is completely the opposite of that. None of them represent that. And the ones that actually do represent that, we don't hear about them. We don't see the image of that. Now,
so who should we be hearing about? Like who are you saying represents that we don't get, that doesn't get enough recognition?
Like who can I actually think of? Like Omar Epps and his wife, old girl from Total. They've been together for what, 15 20 years. They're all their kids together, they're grown. We don't see that's not we see what we see on Love and Hip Hop, and we see and what we see on
that goes back to polluting the mind of a lot of women that are easily influenced.
Right.
And
sometimes are easily influenced, but it's about what they being easily influenced by. You know what I'm saying? And the chicks that we seeing, they're not even look at the even the educated chicks, even the chicks that's so-called professional, even the ones that's so-called out there doing their thing, these chicks are promoting promiscuity, sexuality, over-sexuality. They're basically promoting being whores. So we basically have a nation.
I'm gonna tap on to what I was saying as far as why I agree with him as far as men do need a push. When you take a man that was corrupted before he got locked up, and then he comes out from being locked up, and he's a better person when he get out, you needed something. Because without jail, a lot of people wouldn't even be in the situation that they're in.
But is that a push?
Hell yeah, that's a push.
It can be for some people.
Yeah, it's a push.
It
because
be a hindrance for some. It could be the springboard to
it's a
others,
perfect word, springboard. It definitely was a springboard for me.
Probably for all three of us.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's ironic because that's where our relationship started.
Right.
But
yeah,
my push is
that is ill though. That's some real
right.
Yeah, all of our relationships started in jail.
You gotta hit up pause for
and
that.
everybody's different now.
Right. Yeah.
So that's it.
But
yeah,
that's not. I kind of disagree though,
mm-hmm.
because my push is your success. My push is your success,
right?
And it's not a competition because I haven't had a chance to tell you this. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that,
and I've told him this because I know where we was at 15 years ago.
Right.
Yeah,
going through the system, right? Yeah, I never would have thought we would be on the other side, but that's not my push. The jail didn't push me to be who I am. It deterred me from continuing to be who I was. The push comes from success of y'all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I got
right there.
You look at your homeboys, the homeboys that are successful, right?
Right.
It's not a competition. It just influences me to say, oh, you know, I was out to dinner with my homeboys a few months ago, right? And one of them showed me his credit score. It was like 8 something.
Right.
And he was proud of that.
Right.
And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be, oh, I got 10 bitches over here, or look what I bought. I never would have looked at the credit as a success story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what pushes me. I don't need someone else to say, oh, here, let me give you this for you to get ahead. No, my push comes from you. My push comes from you.
Right.
My push comes from my homeboys. My push comes from him.
So that's your environment. Your environment, right? Is the people your network.
Yes. That's for me. That's for me. That's my push.
I can say the same for myself as well too. You know what I'm saying?
The jail was like, oh shit, I don't want to come back here no more.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to have somebody tell me, oh, you can get up and go take a piss. You can get up and get some water.
No, you don't want that.
That's what made me not want to come back, was being stripped of my freedom.
Right.
So it didn't. I don't think it pushed me as much as it deterred me away from that lifestyle.
Right.
So the push comes from the motivation of those around you who are successful in the right way. Let's put it that way.
Right.
You know, because we all got homeboys.
That's crazy, because that was one of the questions. Really, like, what motivated you, like, to even turn to the streets?
You talking about when the young boy?
Yeah,
it was no motivation.
It was. I ain't gonna lie, it was some motivation.
Was it? It had to be. I'm saying it had to be something motivated you to turn to the streets. Was it a necessity, or were you motivated by something?
Survival.
That's a necessity.
It's a combination of all. You know, necessity. Because for
desire.
Because and I'm gonna be honest with you, I tell people this all the time, man. When I was young, I didn't have to do things I chose to do. I didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to do this stuff. I could have did something different, or I could have just not done anything at all. I was a kid, because you got to think about it, we was kids when we started do it. It was more of our responsibility to, you know, we was, you know what I mean? It's like when we was a kid, and I know because I used to do this too, like, oh, I had to do this or I had to do that. Oh, Miss Italy, what's good with you, girl? In the building.
Yeah, in the building.
You know what I'm saying? One, like, I never felt like I had to do it. I mean, this one, let me get this right. I didn't have to do it, but I had to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I could have did something. I mean, for one, I said I didn't have to do it because we was kids. You know what I'm saying? Well, kids shouldn't even be in a situation to where they would have to even in any way provide for themselves.
Right.
But in certain situations, you be in a certain environment, you know, it's something that you got to do what you got to do in order, you know, basically to survive. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, and that's just what my take on that whole thing right there. You know what I mean about all of that.
So, do you regret your involvement in
No, not at all. I don't regret anything. No regrets.
Nope.
No regrets. When I say no regrets, I ain't gonna lie. When I say no regrets, I mean, of course, there's some things I wish I would have done different.
True.
But I don't regret it, though.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I understand why everything happened the way it happened, so I don't have no regrets about anything.
So, what was some of like what's the some of the results that came out of you being in the streets?
Oh man, the 3 prison bids.
Damn, you went 3?
Three?
I thought it was 2.
Nah, 3. I went the first time I went. That was a little short skip bid.
And that's not when I met you.
Nah, that's when you met me the very first time.
Oh, you went in, but you went after that?
Nigga, when you remember when I came back in 06? You remember I came back?
I didn't. So what you do the second
time? Because it was so
time?
brief that I was there. I had got caught with a gun. And I'm surprised they even sent me back to the
So,
joint. They only gave me like 5 months.
When we was in the county
Whoa.
together, that was your first bid.
Yeah.
You was heading to the first
Yes.
bid. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was weird. It was funny. I hadn't met you before him.
Right.
And then when I got to prison, I think you left.
Right.
And he was telling me about you.
Right.
And I was like, damn, he sounds familiar.
Right.
Then he came back.
Yeah, and that's when you was there.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Wow, see, I was in there so long at that time that I just thought everybody was there together. I thought
he did that 5-piece.
Yeah,
straight.
so you're right. You're right. Yeah, it was 3.
And I was a young boy just wilding out. You hear me? And you know what I'm saying? That last little demo, you know what I'm talking about, man. That you do that 5+, man. I see why this brother right here.
I ain't go back after that 5. That 5 is a self. Yeah, that'll get you all the way together.
I'm saying, you got some guys, and my brother Derek, do they, you little 1.5, 2, whatever, 3, whatever it is, and you get on the right path. That's a beautiful thing. But some of us, a knucklehead like me, it took me to that 3rd time. You know what I'm saying? When I got hit with that 6.5 banger, I said, oh, yeah, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Without their mother, I would have went back. Like, I needed, without her being there and showing me that piece and being there, I'd have went back. I wouldn't had anything to keep me grounded. Right? And that's maybe a tribute to
you right, because when I came home, I ended up leaving the woman I was with at that time, and I got caught in the same situations over and over again. I was just able to wiggle out and not go back to prison.
Right.
But the last time I did catch a case, which was 2016.
That's like right when I first came home. Right?
Yeah, and I became Mr. Pringles the Barber in 2015. So the streets is what actually birthed Mr. Pringles the Barber.
Oh yeah,
it was things that that's how that happened. And I actually wouldn't take nothing back either.
Right.
No.
Because I know I wouldn't be where I'm at without that. Without that part of my life.
It was all part of the part of the plan and part of the process to where, brothers is at now, man. We have definitely absolutely had to experience the things we experienced, man. It wouldn't even turn out it would have turned out different. What I'm saying is if we didn't go through what we went through, we wouldn't be where we at right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it also, I feel like it helped you recognize the difference between like good and evil. It's like, like I always tell you, like the devil can give you blessings too.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I think
that's powerful. You said that.
It helps you.
Yeah. Because a lot of you niggas out here doing crazy stuff and y'all working for the devil. He ain't even blessing y'all.
No.
He getting a lot of y'all for cheap. Man. That's crazy, man. Like devil ain't even blessing y'all, man. Y'all out here dirty, busted, disgusted, sitting up here on demon time. That's a goddamn shame.
Right.
So
she said, I never went to prison, but I absolutely would do it all again to be the person I am now.
That's how I gotta go.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can't, you have no story if you have no story.
Right.
Right. That's true.
That's just how it goes.
Right.
But,
that's what's up.
So are you proud of who you are today?
Oh yeah. Now there's mistakes I made, know, but I wasn't always, and I'm still not the best father. I wasn't the best husband, but there's no book to that, right?
Right.
You learn as you go.
You learn as you go. There's no book for relationships. There's no book for parent. You learn as you go.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't change nothing. I love who I am now. Like I said, I don't think we would be able to have these conversations if we didn't go through the things we go through, right?
That's a trap.
You know what I mean? So no, it's brilliant. Like I enjoy. It is weird, but I've enjoyed the mistakes I've made because I can learn from it. I can grow from it. I can teach from it. But would I change it? No.
And the past helps you deal with some of the things that happen in the present.
Oh, definitely.
Because I know once I did that time, I don't really see nothing that I can't do.
Do you have more patience now?
A lot more.
And people may take that the wrong way.
Right.
And I
they do all the time too. That's crazy.
People may feel like, I've been in situations I might be discussing something with my girl and be like, well, you just don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I done been through so much this situation
this is not really that serious.
This is just
you're
a moment in time.
Way more serious than what it actually
this is not. Man, it's a lot of things that done happen. Like, and all of us done been in places that it's things that people don't even know that all of us have been. Right. Like it's a lot of stuff that goes on in a man's mind for things to pop up when a woman presents it, and it's attacking her natural state, which is her emotions. As a man, it's like, listen,
we're not emotions. We don't operate from an emotional state. When we make decisions, especially for our family and our household, the decisions as a man, and you hear me always say this, man, as a man, we can identify our emotions. Yeah. We can even express our emotions in a healthy way, but to become emotional, no, we absolutely cannot do that. And that's why women shouldn't be in authority over men, because y'all are emotional. You can't make important decisions as a president, being a woman, and get emotional, because you're going to be using your emotions versus using your intellect, your logic.
I think too that I sort of agree with that in the part, like you shouldn't base decisions off emotions. Like I learned dealing with the boys as they got older, when they would do something, like I would be on them, and he can tell you that. As they got older, I kind of wouldn't deal with it right away, because if you do, your emotions involved, right? I might whoop them or something, which as they get a certain age, like that's out the window. I shouldn't have probably been whooping them anyway. Right. As I learned that, but that's a part of my growing up, right? It should have been more conversations like it is now. Like, okay, what did you do? All right, now what can we do to fix that? Now you continue to do the same thing over and over, then maybe there needs to be a whooping. But that shouldn't have been our first thought. Right. But we was raised that way, right? Yeah. So that shouldn't have been our first thought. You know, like I see it with you with Genesis. You talk to him more. You have conversations.
Yeah, exactly. I know, because I know.
I like that about him too. I noticed that.
Now, if Genesis was John's age, he probably would have got his ass whooped more, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which, as you grew, you realized I don't need those whoopings.
Yeah, it ain't. You know I'm gonna talk to him.
It'll hurt him more if I tell him I'm not gonna do something for him, versus if I was to whoop him, because it's gonna hurt his feelings.
Exactly.
And I never thought about that. It's like, I used to kind of manipulate them too as they got older. Like, dude, you hurt my feelings by what you're doing in school. But it was true. It's like, I'm going to work every day. I'm busting my ass. I need you to do two things. One, listen to your mom and go to school. Yeah. But it hurts my feelings if you don't do it. To them, psychologically, that messes them up, because they don't like it when you hurt their feelings.
Exactly.
So if you was to say more or less, you're hurting my feelings, this is what you should and should not do, versus whooping them, it'll probably been a different outcome in the situation.
It's also holding them accountable too for their actions too, though, and holding them to a different standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, unless, like you said, unless I keep telling you doing something, you keep doing the same behavior, then that must mean you need some straightening then. But, you know what I'm saying? But you know, if you can talk to your son and be like, listen.
Because when you talk to your son, this is what I get when I'm talking to him. It's a part that I had to develop over a period of time. Damn, it took me almost 40 years.
Exactly.
Okay. So if I'm giving this to him at 3, I know who he gonna be when he about 20. Like, I want him to have that patience and to understand, like, to be able to communicate. Because if you can't communicate, that's an explosion.
Yes.
Now I want to say something too before we go past the, like, women and their emotions. You still need your woman to be in her emotions, because when she uses her emotions properly, it feeds y'all's relationship. See, if she shuts that off, now it's just two of me.
Right. Right. Y'all butt head.
Yeah,
so, like I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's about using the emotions the proper way, not to hurt, but to heal.
Right. Yeah, because that's what women do. That's when them naturally being more emotional than us, they use their emotions in a nurturing way.
Yeah.
In a healing way.
Yeah.
Right. Not in a controlling way, not in a combative way.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, well, you hurt my feelings and because you didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When, you know, as a man, like I say, we cannot allow ourselves to become emotional, man. And ever. Because when we allow ourselves to become emotional, we become like women, and we won't make sound decisions as being the head of this family. We're gonna be emotional. What you gonna do is being a woman, and I don't know. Somebody come kick that door in the night, and I'm like, oh shit.
So both of y'all upstairs in the closet.
We both in the closet.
Y'all both in the closet.
Like, nah, we can't. I can't be emotional in that state as a man. You feel me? And I have to be like that in every aspect of being the man and being the head of this family and head of this household. I cannot allow myself to become emotional, but don't mistake that for me not being able to identify my emotions or express them healthily.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
And that's important, because I think if you have a woman who fits you as a partner, she teaches you how to love.
Right.
And that's what you don't have as a man. You're not designed with that. You're not designed to learn how to love.
When we look at love as
they're wired that way.
We look at love as like for instance, and I tell chicks this all the time too. You know how you show me love? Respect me. I don't really need the love in the sense like a woman needs love.
I heard that.
You show me love, how you love me, respect me. Respect my mind, respect my order, my structure, my discipline, respect my instructions. Listen to me. You hear me when I say, and I'll be like, dang, man, baby, I don't need to, okay. And respect my judgment, man.
Because
you hear me?
I get what you're saying, because at the end of the day, when you look at it that way, both of y'all are saying pretty much, y'all compliment each other with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't respect your mind, she doesn't respect your mind. It might be for her to respect somebody else's mind. I mean, or she might need to be with a man that doesn't want his mind respected. Right. He's cool with being led.
Right.
So,
and that's not a man, because name one man who's a man that you know that's successful, that wants to be led by a woman. Exactly.
I wish I had a bird chirping.
Like I say, man,
crickets,
masculine, manly men, we ain't being led by no broad. Where's she gonna lead me to? Where a broad gonna lead you to? Exactly. Nowhere. I don't care how much money she got. I don't care how much her credentials
because a man is not looking for a woman's what she
that's
has.
not what looking for.
She can go all the way up to the top of the roof. And it's still, only thing a man could do is like, damn, I'm proud of you. But he's still gonna be, okay, well, this is what we need to be doing.
You feel me?
It's not gonna be.
No.
Otherwise, you have to be, it's all about just the person that fits you. It's the person. I don't want to be led.
She don't want to wear the pants.
I don't want to wear the pants. Yeah.
Right.
No. And that's true.
But that's in the feminine
softness.
Yeah, that's the softness.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's just two things. You can't have this. You can't have a soft man with the soft woman and the woman with the man.
That's just not gonna work.
I think it's a balance. Like I said,
shout out to the dopest Derek, man. You better come get. Listen, either you gonna come in here or you gonna be doing your hosting now, or you gonna listen now. Yeah.
No, but like I do think it's a balance. Like I said, a woman teaches you how to love, right? And through that, you understand love. But then at the same time, you teach her how to be not so much hard, but
structure,
order, to not need you to do everything.
Right.
Like one thing that bothers me is like when you're in a relationship and then the person comes home and they complain about their job. Let's use that example, right?
Yeah.
And they complain every day. Eventually, it just gets on my nerves. Like, okay, so what are you doing to change that?
Right.
Yeah. That's the mind of a man, though.
Exactly.
Because a man is not going to dwell on a problem. He's going to be dwelling on a solution.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's the exchange, right?
Yeah.
Because it teaches you from her, it teaches you how to love your children.
Yeah.
How to be more patience. That's the biggest thing. They have way more patience than us. And that's something that we learn from them because our patience is very thin.
Yeah.
But it's an exchange. And
it's an exchange. It's an exchange for our protection, our provision, our guidance, our leadership, our authority. We get femininity, we get nurturing, we get caring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We get inspiration.
Yes.
You feel me? We get
inspiration is a big piece.
Yeah.
Listen here, women, if y'all inspire y'all's man, he gonna go way to where he's supposed to go as a man.
And he gonna make sure he gonna take you. Yeah, he definitely gonna do that.
Yes.
He ain't gonna forget about y'all. I promise you, man.
Because a lot of the times, you know what I noticed that like this world when it comes to a lot of women now, they look up to a lot of, but they are scared. You.
Yes.
We can't be talking about Tupac, Nipsey, all these other people, like all these people, the same light that you look at them in is the same light you're supposed to look at the man in. Because if you look at your man in that same light, he gonna look at you like, oh yeah, he wants to give everything to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's back to the inspiration, like, but yeah.
But as I've said, and you and I had this conversation when I was here getting my hair cut. And if you don't have Mr. Pringles as a barber, go ahead and do
tripping.
That. So you tripping.
Yeah.
Best barber.
I just booked my appointment for Friday. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Already. Mr. Pringles the barber. Y'all see when I be crispy, man. Y'all see who get me together, man.
Y'all know y'all go to Mr. Pringles the barber on YouTube, man. Follow that, man.
Hit that like button. Subscribe, like, share, comment.
So, what do you see? Who do you see yourself as at your highest potential? Because do you feel you're at your highest potential now?
Not at all. Not at all.
When you envision yourself at your highest potential, who do you see?
I see me being in my full potential. I see me being a reflection of that which I was created in, which is in, you know what I'm saying? I've been created in the likeness and the image of the Most High. That's what I see. Like I say, a man is the truth. That was a good answer. A man is the truth. That was a good answer. In every single way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not where I'm supposed to be, you know what I mean? And that's why we do the things we do. We put the work in that we put in to, progress to get to that which we was designed to be. You know what I'm talking about? And that's, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But as a man, we don't get the liberty or have the liberty to complain or bitch or moan about it. We got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing set up for us. We ain't got nobody that's going to provide us.
Hold on.
Nobody, nothing to fall back on.
But if you do complain, what are you? You a weak man.
You a weak ass nigga.
You know what I mean? Right. Like you want me to, and that's the bad part about it, right?
I see what you're saying, bro.
You want us to express our emotions. You want us to tap into our emotions. Mm-hmm. But if I do, now I'm looking weak.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, I'm gonna tell you this. This is crazy.
Listen here, y'all, and listen. I'm gonna say this, man. If you a man and you got a woman, you bet not ever cry in front of that woman. You hear me, man? If you gotta cry, you gonna take your ass in the damn room.
All right,
you
look in the mirror.
You man, don't let that woman see you cry, man. Unless it's like a loss of a family member
or
something. I'm talking about like with your
under
personal,
pressure.
with your
You saying under
stuff,
pressure? You should not.
With your personal stuff that you know you gotta take care of as a man. Don't you go cry to just not let me succeed, baby. Oh no. Man, you best not ever do that shit.
I agree with that.
Ever. You better go in that closet and cry to yourself, man, and figure it out. Yeah. Go to God with it. You better not ever
let her see that pressure break you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like I said, when a family member dies, something tragic happened.
But you know what? But at the same time,
and that's a healthy expression of our emotions.
That in a sense, you got to have that correct though, because. So let's think about this. If you having some financial troubles, do you tell your girl?
I mean, you tell your girl for sure, but you don't go to your girl. Oh, baby, it's over. I don't know what we're
gonna do. I don't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
When I was married in the same house, right? She knew. But if I'm going through something financially now, my girlfriend don't know.
She ain't supposed to either.
No.
You know why you don't want? You know why? Business. Why don't you want her to know?
Because it ain't none of her damn business.
Listen, no,
flat out for no other reason than that.
For me, it's a pride thing. I'm supposed to be in control.
Right.
I'm the man. You're not going to know that I'm sure. But at the same time, that's not healthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm suppressing those emotions. Now, I don't have to necessarily discuss it with her. Right. I probably wouldn't. Like, maybe I would talk to y'all. Not like I need some money, but just to get it off your chest. And that's something, too, I think is, and this is a totally different subject, but we can tap a little bit on it, is we don't have these discussions amongst men. Right. It's like if I say, hey man, let's link up and go, what is it? Let's go get a drink. Right. Let's go get something to eat. Right. We ain't gonna talk about what's bothering you that day.
Right.
You know what's crazy about that?
That happens in the shop though, which is interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Women do what we don't do.
Oh, yes. Yes.
See, they congregate together and they do those things.
Right.
They going out to eat. They doing all those things. For some reason, we skip past that. And as we get older, that circle gets so small and you be just so focused on your box.
Right.
And that's you stand there. It's like, you just like, oh, no. Because you remember when we was younger, everybody rode with the neighborhood. There's a bunch of us, you know, you want the groups. Now, as you get older, you just be like, okay, everybody still communicate. Right. It's just that you don't move the same way.
No, right.
Women do the total opposite.
I think, and with that, it's out there to their detriment sometimes too, though, man.
Oh, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
You know why? Because the problems become that what you was talking about is contagious.
Yeah.
So you can have your situation could be cool with you and your woman.
Man, listen.
If me and his women are having a problem and they go and your woman go,
right now we got a problem.
Now y'all gonna have a problem.
It's contagious, man. Nah, but I mean, I agree with that to an extent too. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, as men though, man, I do think we need to start like encouraging having discussions because you know what I'm saying. They go back to that adage, man. Steel sharpens steel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right.
When I come, and I'm you know, I'm a man. I don't feel no type of way. Listen, especially when it comes to like when I come and get my hair cut. You know, I talk to my brother. You know what I'm saying? Right. I get advice from my brother, and we keep each other on point. And you know what I'm saying? I share stuff like that because I know, you know what I'm saying. If I really need to talk to somebody, venting about whatever how I'm feeling, which I normally do. And I'm not saying that's not healthy, man, because it's healthy when it starts to come to the point to where it's preventing you or you know, it's inhibiting you from, you know what I'm saying, doing what you need to do as a man, though. But that's why I said we better go to crawlers and figure it out. But as far as like talking about what's going on, it's very healthy to be able to have men, other guys who you can go to, which is
that's gonna give you a credible opinion.
They ain't gonna shit you down, they ain't gonna shit on you, nigga. You should now they're gonna be like, well, damn, I understand that, bro. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, to give you some words of encouragement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let you know, remind you of the man that they know you are, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, man, I understand you feeling and going through this, but bro,
you know who you is.
You know who you is. Like, remember when you were doing this, bro, just you know what you need to do. Just do it, man. Right. You feel me? And if any way I could help out and assist, you know what I'm saying, that I'm at liberty to do, you know, so it's good. It's cool to have men who you can go through. Like, not even about, like you said, not about just borrowing some money. About like, man, I'm going through this. I just need somebody to talk to, bro. You know, I'm talking about some words of encouragement, man. You know, so maybe you could put me up on some game about something.
But that goes back to the way we were raised, right?
Exactly.
You wasn't raised to express that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We developed this over time.
Right.
Yeah. You wasn't raised to say, oh, I'm going through a problem. Let me go holler at my homeboy.
Right.
Just an ear to listen to, or maybe get advice, because maybe he may see it differently than I see it.
Right.
We weren't raised to do that. So over time, you grow and you understand. Like I think a problem with us men is that we have to understand we can't do it by ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not to necessarily say that you need that a woman. You also need your homeboys.
You need your homeboys, and you know why they say the man is always supposed to go to the source, which is God.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because that's the ultimate source for him. Like he can't.
Mm-hmm. That's the proper order and structure too. God, man, woman, child. That's proper order and structure.
Yeah, because without that, that's a lost man, and that's a confused man, and that makes that a dangerous man.
Exactly.
Man. Very dangerous man.
Yes.
Right.
No,
so I also think, I really do, and I'm, you know, me and BJ done talked about this, you know what I'm saying, numerous times, sitting in that barber chair. I really think, you know what I'm saying, that we really need to focus on having, you know, mastermind circles, you know what I'm talking about, men circles, so I think it's healthy for us as men.
We're going to be doing this.
To be able to have conversations. When we just convene and just interact with each other and just chop it up, like my man Jay-Z said in this song, and was, I don't even like Jay-Z no more, but he did say some raw stuff in this song, man. You know what I'm saying? We held round table meetings so we can go and discuss not only money, but all the emotions going through us. You feel me?
That was the bar.
I think that's something that us as men need to start doing. You know what I'm saying? So we can be a better example for the young brothers so they can have something to look up to. So when they know conflict resolution, because, you know, we as men understand that there's a certain level of violence that could possibly happen if we don't know how to communicate effectively with each other. You know what I'm saying?
When you don't know how to communicate effectively, that means that you tapping into your emotions. And when you become emotional, men do.
Yeah. Then you're not even tapping into your masculinity. Now you tapping into femininity.
And then you'll catch yourself locked up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Emotions. That's what.
We ain't doing no Carl Thomas over here, man. You know, man. We can't get Carl Thomas over here as men, man.
So we getting down to the last bit, man. I want to ask you both, and it's gonna be it's an awkward question, but it should be able to be answered. Do you feel like you're the chosen one? Because it's two people I'm asking. So you see how that works? You see how that works?
So
I'll let Derek go first.
Here's the thing. Yes, I do, but I didn't know.
Okay.
And now I know. And I understand more now. And I think we've briefly talked about this.
Yeah.
So I understand when I'm being led by God.
Right.
I understand when there's I have a purpose and I know there's something I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Yes, I'm chosen. He's chosen. You're chosen. He's chosen. But it's everybody's in a different capacity.
Right.
But you have to have that relationship so you know what you're chosen for.
Right.
Right. I understand that I'm chosen to be a leader in whatever capacity that is. And this is not being conceited.
Right.
It's the truth. I've had other people tell me this, but I understand it now because it's nothing more satisfying when you know your relationship with God and what he has for you, and you're doing things and you're not even thinking nothing of it and it's happening because you know. So I don't think I told you about this, but I recently took a promotion at work, and this is the God's honest truth. I told him this. I'm in an interview, right? I had interviewed at another location, and when I interviewed the location I work at, they came at me like, "Oh, well, we want to interview." So I entered the interview, and I told them, I said, whether y'all give me the offer or whether it's somewhere else, I know that I'm going to be in management. And they kind of looked at me crazy, like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I've been told," and I knew that after I leave this interview, somebody's going to offer me a position. And it wasn't being cocky, but it's like, it's a sense of comfort, right? Like I told you, when I lost that money, I wasn't worried about it. It was just a sense of comfort, and then I got it back even more. So yeah, I understand that. I'm not saying like I'm the elite.
You didn't worry because you knew you had God as a source. You already done been through stuff and got through it. So,
right. And then I think you told me this, that we've been to prison. We beat what else can stop you?
Yeah, you only got
the closest thing to
life and death. Life and death. Right, you're still here. So what else is there?
Like I've been through it, right? I've been down. We've been to our lowest. We've been to our lowest point, right? To where you're making $18 fucking a month,
right?
You know what I mean? And then don't have
child support.
You only get $10 a month.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you.
You got to send money on other people's books.
Right.
So once I'm not saying like you need to go to prison to find out who you are, but once you hit that and you bounce back, there's nothing that's going to stop you because you're here for a reason. He pulled you out of that mud for a reason because you got more work to do. And that's how I look at it. We got more work to do. We're here because he wants us to be here. We're having this conversation. This was foreseen. It was supposed to happen. So yeah, I feel like I'm chosen. I'm not above anybody, but I'm one of his chosen.
Right.
So yeah.
I feel you on that, man.
So why you feel like you chosen?
I ain't no feel. I know. My mom been telling me since I was a young boy, like, boy, you gonna live. My mom, this is what I grew up is. I love my mom to death, man. Even when she was in her addiction and all of that, my mom used to always tell me, boy, you gonna. She used to tell me, for one, I'm gonna live forever. That's what my mom used to tell me. I grew up listening to this. This is why I am the way I am. And I'm letting y'all know why I am the way y'all know me. Why I am the way I am. A big part is mom growing up hearing my mom telling me, boy, you're gonna live forever. You know what I'm saying? You got something special planned for you. God got something special. Growing up hearing this from my mom, so I've always had this, you know what I'm saying? I've always had this you know what I'm saying, knowing, you know what I'm saying, that I was chosen. And then throughout my life, experience that I have led me to see and know that I am, you know what I'm saying? Notice I said I am, you know what I'm talking about, all capital letters. And you know what I mean? And when you come into the realization of that, you know what I'm saying? And just like he was saying, man, you got to be able to operate. And this is what I'm learning. My brother BJ told me this, man. You know what I mean? And I don't regret it. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a lesson. But and this is what made me have so much respect for my brother, because my brother told me, like, don't, and this is a prime example of when your homie, and this is how you know when people got your best interest in mind. My man said something, he foresaw something, you feel me? And he put me up on game and I didn't listen. And I had to learn my lesson. You hear me? But I appreciate my brother, you know what I'm saying? Not like when it happened, like how he knew it was going to happen.
Right, he didn't come
to my face like, you dumbass nigga, I told you. He said, see? He said, see what I told you? He said, you learned your lesson. Now let's get working. And I respect my brother for that, though. And you say, as a man, you know what I'm saying, you got to be able to...
and you use that situation as a springboard.
Exactly. Right. And as a man, you got to be able to, as much as you say you a man, and you got to be able to accept correction. You got to be able to accept checking, straightening from your brothers. Hey. A dude who really care about you, if your mans can't check you, he ain't your mans.
If they don't check you when you're down, you don't need them.
Get rid of them. You hear me?
That is the truth.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. There ain't no dude who really care about you.
Yeah.
But as far as being the chosen one, though, man, like I said, I done had experiences in my life. I done been through 3 prison breaks, SWAT raids, shootouts. A lot of my friends, close friends, is dead. My brother's dead and killed, and I'm still here. That lets me know for a fact
you're here for a reason.
That I'm here for a reason, and God definitely has chosen me to do something. But when you come into the knowledge of that, you better do what you're supposed to do. And this goes back to what my brother Derek said about operating within your season. See, that's what I've been just discovering right now, that the things happen when you ain't operating in your season, man. And then my brother BJ was one of the first dudes that brought it to my attention. That's why I got so much respect for BJ, because I remember specifically the day I was getting my hair cut, and the nigga told me, he said, "No, bro." he said no. I remember this like vividly. You know what I'm saying? Because and I didn't listen to my brother, man. And that was part of me learning my lesson, and then how we are now. So what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, as far as being a chosen one, man, when you realize you are chosen, like they said, you got, for one, what is you chosen for?
Right.
That's what you got to figure that out.
Exactly. And that's how, when you said you're a leader,
right?
When you know what you're chosen for, you know what you're gonna lead.
Right. And in whatever capacity that looks like, you feel me? You chosen to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? It's just up to you to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what exactly that all entails, man. And and that's the thing. We as men, we know what it is. We know what we gotta do. We just gotta do it. You know what I mean?
So I feel like everybody is chosen too. And and it's crazy how I know I'm chosen, and I really found out my purpose just a few weeks ago. I kind of knew my purpose, but I'm like for sure what I'm supposed to lead.
Right.
And it's crazy that when you text me, you was like, I'm bringing somebody with me. And that's when that happened, it just kept validating. So I found out my purpose really is to inspire the younger dudes. And I'm gonna tell a brief story. So remember I told you about the little dude that I used to cut? I said I hadn't seen him in like 5 years. So I was leaving the shop.
You saw him on the bike? Yeah,
and I seen him on the bike, and he rolled in front of the truck. And I'm like, hell no, that's such and such. So I honked the horn because I ain't had time to stop. And it's just like a movie. When I'm looking in the rear view, he got his hand on the handlebar and he looking back. So I'm like, damn, I wish I could have stopped. So that was on a Thursday. 7 days later, I'm in here doing my prayer. I don't get no interruptions. As soon as I get up, the phone rang. And it's a lady on the line, and she like, used to cut my son's hair, him and his brothers. I need to know if you can cut his hair. And I'm like, well, I don't really cut kids, but who are your sons? She say his name. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, hold up, it went out. I'm like, I just seen him. She like, you just seen him? I'm like, yeah, I just seen him. She's like, when you see him? I said, last Thursday. She said, man, they killed my son last Thursday. I said, your son who? She said his name. And I said,
the one you seen on the bike?
On the bike. So I'm tripping because I'm like, I haven't seen him in 5 years. He pops up. When he ride past, he's going to his dude's candlelight where they killed him at the candlelight in the same spot. Now, she's asking me to cut his hair. I've never did this before. So now I'm asking I'm thinking like, what was I praying for me to get up and that be the phone call? Now I'm going to cut this boy's hair. So the last time I seen him alive. And the last time I seen him, he wasn't alive. Those is two different parts of it. So I'm like, okay, what is this what am I being told? So I'm just paying attention to the things that happen. So then I go to the Cleveland show, barber show. You know, I travel by myself. Like I said, I don't move with no groups. I go with my young dudes, my young barbers. Oh man. Listen, do not bring that. Do not bring that. Somebody brings that. Listen, do you understand that I'm the one that's going absorb all of that if a situation takes place, because I'm the multi-felon in here. So one of them is like, oh, you are? But before he say that, he say, put this up there. No, don't put this up. Put that back there with you. That's what you
used to be that.
Yeah, I used to be everything that they was.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it. Like you really can't see yourself until you, like those young boys, that's a mirror. Like somebody can tell you used to be them, but until you like right there and you seeing them doing the exact same shit you was doing, it looked different when you standing on this side of it.
Right.
So I was like, man, all the youngins that I like encourage, like I'm like, you lost, become a barber. Because at least if you become a barber, even if you don't like catapulting it, and at least you're gonna be bumping into all the people you need to bump into to help find out who you are.
Yep.
You might not supposed to be a barber, but you're gonna run into a carpenter, you're gonna run into a cable man, the flight attendants, you gonna run into everybody, the architects, you're gonna run into everybody knowing a man. So it's gonna help you find your way. So now I'm thinking like, I done talked to a few and I done watched them grow. I'm gonna send a shout out. Chef Case, he listened. Lines by Lee, he listened.
Yep.
And I still gotta keep feeding though. So I'm like, okay, damn, what is my damn purpose? So then I'm like added to it, like, okay, well, you got this damn whole podcast, all this right here. And I remember Dick Gregory said, a person that got one of these is a bad man. You got two things that can take place when you got one of these. You can spread a bunch of demons or you can spread a bunch of love. So, and like you said, I helped you in your situation, you helped me in my situation, and vice versa all around.
Right.
So all of this shows the purpose. Like, if you don't know your damn purpose,
yeah. Well, and
if you don't serve your purpose, you're worthless.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
But like we were talking last week, and I said that, it's growth. It's like you got a tree. It's this tall.
That's a good piece.
But once it gets this tall, it sees everything. Your perspective is larger.
Yeah.
Now you see more. Now you understand more. But if you keep yourself here and you don't grow, you don't feed yourself different things to grow. Because if you keep feeding yourself the same thing, you're just going to remain stagnant. But once you grow and you see above all the other trees and you can have that vision, everything becomes more clear.
You got more options.
Yeah.
Because down there, that little tree, you're limited.
You're limited. Yeah, you're blocked by everybody else's vision.
Exactly.
But when you exceed that and then you become the big tree and you start to see, you supposed to branch out to the other people.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about. That's why I love what I do at work.
Yeah.
I look at me as leading them. This guy said to me, I encouraged him to go to another department, and this girl was like, why would you do that? I said, because my job is to make him the best person he is, whether it's in my department or elsewhere. But if I feel like he can do better there, I'm going to encourage him to go there. It hurts my department, but the success is his success. And that's what it's supposed to be, because I've been given the equipment to push you and make you better than who you are supposed to be. And that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's the joy you get out of that.
Exactly.
And seeing somebody else become successful off of the things that you've learned. And that's how it's supposed to be.
It's not a financial thing or none of that. Because once they strip you of all those accolades,
what
the
do
money
you have?
And everything, who are you?
Oh, good question. Yeah, good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
If everything was taken away from you monetarily, who are you?
And that's the thing that I
who is your naked self?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I be focused on. Like, whether I'm broke, whether I'm up, I'm still a man. You hear me? Whether I'm up, down, whatever, homeless, whatever it is, you still gotta be the man you are, man. And when you realize that, when you realize that when you are the man, not like the man as far as like you better than anybody, but you a man, you're the man. You feel me? Just breaking, you got to get your thought. Like I said, we as men all know where we fall short at. Man.
Right.
We know what we need to improve on. We know what we need to, work on to become that which we know we got the potential to be. So, with that being said, man.
It's crazy you say that. And I'm going to get out of here off of that.
Right.
But I remember when I was in prison, I remember Chaz telling me, he said, bruh, you don't even talk, you don't be talking too much, but when you talk, people be listening. And this was in prison though. So that was years ago and I still wasn't at where I'm at now. So like you saying, it's about that tree.
Yeah. And then
branching out.
And people, I for me, and I know it's for y'all too, they're surprised when they find out that you've been to prison. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Like you don't fit the image of someone to like, what's the image?
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I says, listen, everybody's done something that they should go to prison for. They just hadn't gotten caught.
That's
right about
and
that.
That's the truth.
You're right about that.
So, and that's the reality of it.
I just had a dude just come home from prison. And he said, bro, I went to Instagram and I seen YouTube and I seen Mr. Pringles the barber. He said, I was like, man, hold up, man. He said, I'm gonna just tell you straight up, bro. When I left and you was in the streets, he said the shit you was doing, I was like, man, I gotta get out. You go ahead so I can get out. Cause this dude, you tripping. He said, well, who you was then doesn't resonate with who you are now.
Right.
So nobody knows. Like when you just said about the introduction, I didn't know that side. When I got locked up, my mom and them was like, what the fuck? I didn't know. It's always another side. It's always different angles. But we gotta do this men amongst men thing more often, man.
Yeah, man, we
and I'm
do,
gonna keep
man.
doing these round tables.
Yeah, man, it's a
Keep
beautiful
building.
thing, man.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a good thing, you know what I'm saying, as far as like with the young brothers too, because you know what I mean, a lot of these young guys, man, they just they ain't got no guidance, man. You know what I mean? And what I found for myself with my platform, I got a lot of emails from a lot of young dudes. I mentor a lot of little dudes. I give counsel, you know what I'm saying, give them advice and stuff. You know what I mean? And what I see is that it's a lot of young dudes out here. They want guidance. But there's just that a lot of you dudes out there, y'all not the example.
Right.
Y'all mean these young dudes, they looking for some guidance and leadership. They just don't respect a lot of you dudes, man. And I see why.
But a lot of the young dudes looking up to the wrong people. They
exactly.
Y'all gotta stop looking up to the people that are not even here anymore. Because you gotta ask yourself, if you could bump into that dude or that rapper that ain't here no more and ask him what he had done something different, what do you think he would say?
Yeah, he gonna tell you a whole different
if he's
story.
sitting in that room right now, like it's an interrogation room up here, in heaven or hell, wherever you go, and you sit in that room and you think about who you could have been walks into the room, the person you could have been walking to the room, and you looking at yourself like, damn, I could have been that. Yeah, you was doing, what the fuck was you, what was you doing?
Right.
Now it's over with. It's not, they get so caught in the music and all that, and all they thinking that you get a rewind. There is no rewind.
Right.
Once it's over, it's over. So if you want to follow this dude with his choices, he's somewhere, and I guarantee you he wish he would have did something different.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
Hell yeah. He wish he would have did something different.
I used to talk to young boys when I was in the joint, man. Them young boys doing them one type of numbers. You hear me, man? Young boys ain't coming home, man. I used to be talking to them, man. And you know what I mean, man? You know, it's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? They come talk to me. And, you know what I'm saying? They used to confide to me because, you know, I tell them some real stuff. And, you know what I mean? I just, it's you know, what I've discovered is that it's a lot of young boys, man. They want guidance. They want leadership, man. But they got to make you. They just want you. Got to be a person that's worthy of their respect, man.
You have to be a person that shows results of change.
Exactly. That too. You got to in some form or fashion be the example of that what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because them young boys see right through you if you're doing some flogging type stuff, man. They're gonna see right through it, man.
All right, well, everybody go ahead, leave their tags and all that, man. Let them know how to reach you and all, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, you already know, man, this is the man about town, Virgil Berry, a.k.a. Stacks with the Facts. You hear me? And y'all can go over there to A Real Talk Podcast on YouTube. Just type in my name, Virgil Berry. Subscribe to the page. Matter of fact, I'm about to go get my dad, and we about to go in about an hour and some change. You know what I'm talking about? Of course, get at me. My name, Virgil Berry, on Facebook, Art Media LLC on Instagram. You know what I'm talking about? Go over there to that YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, and comment. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, hold up. He ain't do what he's supposed to do. I've been seeing him do it like he got to add it to his shit, right? I want y'all to see me when I do this. It's Virgil Berry. Hey, Real Talk Media, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's Ramadan right now, so my muscle ain't as big as it used to be right now. But give me about 17 days, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying?
See, this is what I'm saying right here. See, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. So this is some of my words of encouragement for all the aspiring content creators out there, man. Don't allow numbers, subscribers, likes. Don't allow that stuff to skew your perception or, belittle your desire, your determination to pursue. That is what you're doing if you're pursuing the content creator on YouTube, whatever the situation is, man. Just keep going, you know what I'm saying, and keep sticking to your craft and keep grinding, keep growing, and stay consistent, man. Because I'm telling you right now, man, and I'm pretty sure BJ can attest to this, man. Nowadays, too, building a solid core audience on YouTube is work. It's not easy at all. It is work. I just recently and I know this is a big part of the unintelligent artificial intelligence and all that stuff too. But I just say that to say, like, keep going, because you never know who's watching you. And I say that because not that I don't think my brother watch my content, but I'm just saying you don't know who's watching, right? And you know who's watching when they say something like what he just said. He said, "Hold on," you know what I'm saying? Because that lets how I know he's been watching, which lets me know I know other people is watching, and that's the motivation to keep doing what I do. So so I'll just leave y'all with that, man. Real Talk Podcast. Subscribe, like, share, comment, man.
Go ahead, Derek. You can drop your jewels, man.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not in the media space, not yet. Maybe, it's something to come here shortly.
He be in there.
I'm just me. Listen, I just get good advice from a good place.
Right.
I'm learning every day, trying to become the person I wasn't the day before. So, the person I was yesterday, I'm not that person today. And I'm just here to lead people in the capacity that God shows me. It's nothing religious. That's just who I am. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, Deavault Derek. It's DeavaultDerek. You won't see much on there. I'm not a big poster. I don't do all that.
He don't, because I was looking for a damn picture. I had to go to his Facebook. I'm searching for a picture. He only picture. His pictures is right. All his pictures is with his kids.
Digital footprint is very small, man.
Yeah, and you get a small glimpse in my life. I'm not in the media space, like I said, as of yet. But maybe things will change here shortly. It's my first time doing the podcast.
Right.
My homeboys want me on here, so I'm gonna support them. But in all reality, these conversations are needed. These roundtable talks are needed. We need to be able to encourage each other, and it's healthy conversations. There was no arguing, there was no bickering. It's a difference of opinion, but we can understand that and move on and learn, and that's the main thing. So, I'm just here, to make sure that everybody love everybody. And if you have a purpose, if you have something, help the next person.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with you reaching back and pulling people up to where you are trying to go or where you're already at. And to me, that's what it's all about. If I can help somebody do something, I'm with that. If I can't help you, I just don't understand, or I'm not that person for that position.
Right.
But what I do have, I'm going to give to the world, and some like it, some don't. And I'm just who I am, and that's it.
That's what it is, man.
And y'all already know who I am. I am him, not him.
He is him, not them, man. There you see, this is the thing, man. When you become a content creator, man, it's kind of like an extension of, who you already are. We've been talking the slick talk, I'm talking about all the, and this comes naturally. We don't sit up here. I wasn't sitting up here writing like, I'm going to be stuck with the prep. That's natural, man.
Right. I'm going to tell you something before we get out of here.
Man. Right.
About what your mom said.
Right.
It's crazy. I said this a while ago, and I don't think a lot of people even recognize this. But with what's going on with the world today and media, due to the fact that it's a gift and a curse, well, a blessing and a curse. When you get on this mic and you do this recording, and when you leave, you still will be here.
Right.
You will be living forever.
You left your impression.
Yeah. So when you said that, I was already telling somebody that before. So when you said it, I said, damn, it's crazy because how his mom didn't know what
was going to take place.
Yeah, what's going to take place for that to be.
Right.
But that's the truth. So if anybody is looking to live forever, make sure y'all come join on both of these podcasts. Always Kevin Barber talking Real Talk Media.
Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all do that. If y'all want to live forever, eternally, digitally, come over there to Real Talk Podcast. You're talking about and come on the show. Listen, you're all welcome. You're all welcome.
We up out of here, man. It's Mr. Pringle the Barber, aka always cutting his head honcho. I am him, not them. I am him, not them.
Already, man.